Okay, so in this explainer, we're going to dig into a huge question for pretty much every student out there. How can you actually use AI to learn, to really make it a study partner instead of just a fancy answer machine?
I mean, this is the big question we're all wrestling with, right? When you fire up that AI for your homework, are you taking a shortcut that's going to cost you down the road? Or can it be a genuinely powerful study partner?
And that brings us right to what you could call the AI learning dilemma. See, the thing is, how well these tools work for you, it's not really about the tech. It's all about how you use it. And there's this massive critical difference between using AI to support your learning and just letting it replace your brain altogether.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly. There are really only two ways to go. Over on the left, you've got replacing learning. That's when you just, ask the AI to do all the heavy lifting. Write my essay, solve this problem, give me the summary. But over on the right, that's where we want to be, supporting learning. And the key difference? It's so simple. You do the thinking first.
This whole thing boils down to one simple truth. It's like the bedrock of any real studying. Learning only happens when you are the one doing the thinking. Yeah, tools can help. They can make things faster, more efficient, but they can never, ever replace the actual work your brain needs to do.
Okay, so how do we make sure we stay on the right side of that line, the support side? Well, it all starts with this tiny but really powerful shift in how you think about it. We need to stop seeing AI as just an answer engine and start thinking of it as your new practice partner.
So what in the world does that actually mean, a practice partner? Well, it's a method, really. It just means you take a crack at the problem yourself first. You try to solve it, you write out what you think the explanation is, you really wrestle with the idea. Then, and only after you've given it a real shot, do you turn to the AI to check your work and get some feedback.
So yeah, the whole thing is just this two-step dance. It sounds almost too simple, but believe me, it changes everything. Step 1, you try it first. Step 2, then you let the AI check your work. That order, that sequence, that's the secret sauce that keeps the learning with you.
All right, so how does this actually look in practice? When you're sitting down to study, let's get super practical and look at the exact kind of prompts you can use.
So instead of just asking, hey, what's the answer? You completely flip the script. You ask the AI to quiz you on a chapter, or maybe you write a paragraph and then ask it, how's my argument here? Give me some feedback. You could even pop in your math solution and ask it to point out if you missed any steps. See that switch? The heavy lifting, the actual thinking is still all on you.
And here is a golden, perfect example of a killer prompt. Quiz me on this topic. Do not show me the answers until I respond. Just that one simple sentence totally changes the game. It forces you to actually engage your brain, to struggle a little bit, and to pull that info out of your memory before you see any kind of answer.
And listen, this isn't just some clever little study hack. There's real science behind why this works. This whole method is baked right into the cognitive science of how our brains build strong, long-lasting memories. So let's dive into the why. What makes this practice partner thing so powerful for your brain?
Okay, the big idea here is something called active retrieval. All that really means is the act of pulling information out of your own memory without peeking at your notes or the textbook. You know that feeling when you're reaching for a name or a formula? That's it. But here's the key. It's a two-step deal. First, you try to recall it, and then you check if you got it right.
And this is why it's so important. That exact process, that little bit of a struggle to remember, followed by checking your work, that's literally what builds and strengthens the connections in your brain for that memory. If you just skip the struggle and go straight to the answer, well, that connection just doesn't get built. The learning doesn't stick.
All right, let's pull all this together now. It's time to think about how you can take this super simple but really powerful idea and actually apply it to how you study. Look, if there's one thing you walk away with today, let it be this. Use your tools to support your thinking, not to replace it. And I don't just mean AI. This goes for a calculator, your friend's notes, whatever. The whole point of a tool is to help you think better, not to do the thinking for you.
So I'm going to leave you with one final question to chew on. The next time you sit down to study or you're tackling that next assignment, I want you to ask yourself, how am I specifically going to use AI as my partner and not just a shortcut this week?